Okay, everyone, let's get into this unusual dream I had with Megan the Stallion and the interpretation that I took from this dream. So, the dream starts in a kitchen, right? There's, a chef, a main chef. The side chef winds up making this kind of edible Rice crispy pasta, creamy pasta, okay? That sounds crazy. That's not the point. Even though I think there's certain significance to the pasta. Anyways, there's the main chef, and the main chef is like, I want Victoria on my team. She's a good worker, yada, yada, yada. You know, also says, some other things. So I'm cooking alongside the main chef, preparing for whatever I have to do next. And she tells me that there's this food inspector that's going to come in. He comes around and he does his inspections every single day. He also comes with the team. She's like, if he finds the edible pasta, whoever it belongs to, whoever made it, is going to get fired. And when I took the edible pasta, I put it to the side. I was like, I'm not trying to be high on the job. I was like, maybe I'll dabble in this later. So this food inspector is already in the kitchen, and I can't get rid of the pasta. So the main chef, what she does is she's cooking some kind of like purple sauce. Purple sauce made of purple onions. Y'all, I love me some onions. Okay, purple onions, chef's kiss. So she distracts him, and I'm like, do you think I can like basically throw away this pasta, this edible pasta, without getting noticed? So she's like, well, try, otherwise you're losing your job. So she throws from a wooden spoon, she throws this edible pasta and it hits him on the nose. And as I was throwing out the edible pasta, the reason why she hit him with with the sauce, the purple sauce that she was making, was because it made a sound when it was hitting the trash can on the corner. And something about it like made him, I guess, like smell a little bit. So the scene changes, and I'm in this room with Megan The Stallion and a bunch of her homegirls. Now, in this dream, she starts, putting on this show. And at first, it's like a remake of, like a prequel to a show, and I can't remember the name. I wasn't even given the name, but it was a horror show, the normal one. And I'm like, oh, like this is not easy on the subconscious at all. So the prequel was basically showing how, Meg The Stallion and other people were essentially turned into like evil hybrids, okay? Human and also taken over by some kind of malevolent spirit, okay? And looking like it had, like she had lizard hands and legs, and it was looking very, very weird, okay? Now, she starts telling me, Meg Thee Stallion is talking to me directly. And she's telling me, oh, the first time I seen you, my it automatically made my vibration go higher. Now, mind you, I've never met Meg Thee Stallion. I've never been to her concerts. I don't even mess with her music. Okay, that's just it's not my taste. But so we keep going on. She seems like she's giving me a lot of compliments, kind of like flirting. Okay, and um, I grab her hamstring for whatever reason. We're all sitting on the couch and stuff like that. We're watching this, a horror prequel of them being turned, and then in the dream, in the prequel, excuse me, she's like, you took this things wrong. Like, I'm not interested in you like that. She's like, I date, men on weekend days. And I'm like, okay, well, like, I'm happily unavailable. That's what I say, right? And so then someone comes in and she's marrying this like white couple. And they have to pay her like 650K for her to do the ceremony. And at that point, she introduces me. She says, a last name. And I'm like, oh, don't disrespect me that way. And there's a lot to the don't disrespect me that way because I was in a horrible relationship. I wasn't even in my right mind, okay, with a narcissist, an abuser. And it was a very difficult point within my life where that energy and whatever spirits he was engaging with tried to end my life and destroy my life. Now, I don't want to sit here and say, oh, Megan Thee Stallion has been taken over by spirits. I don't know her. I've never met her. I'm not interested in her at all, her life, her career. That's not my business. What I do know is that the pasta had symbolisms because it was Rice Krispies. Krispies are usually all different colors, which we can sit here and say kind of like colors of the rainbow, colors of the chakras, right? For someone to offer me an edible pasta, right? A pasta is going to get me high means that they're trying to take me and knock me off balance. It wasn't the main chef. So I feel like the main chef is speaking to, like, the creator, divinity, those that are on the side for good, not evil. And the inspector is also on the side for good, right? And I was tricked by giving this pasta, which a lot of people are tricked. They're being offered things that seem good, but in reality, it's taking them and derailing the course of their life. So I was warned by the divine, hey, get your act together, got my act together, and then the scene changes. And I feel like what Meg The Stallion was representing was people that feed, right, in the industry, feed off of the collective consciousness of others, but in their own way, they're trapped, right? They're not realizing what they're giving. When she was like, oh, when I first saw you, my vibration automatically went higher. I think it speaks to, whether it's her directly, or not. And again, I'm not confirming anything. This is just a dream that I had. Um, it speaks to how the industry is taking people, right? Even their talents. Because I think a lot of them really are also modern day slaves. They're comfortable modern day slaves, but their life is still very much controlled. They can't move or do anything in their lives truly from a base of freedom. They're told who to date. They're told what to buy, what to, how to look, how to act. A lot of it is really shaped in order to mess with the collective, consciousness, collective, excuse me, collective perception. And it ultimately looks to this energy, looks to feed off of the innocence, the high vibration of pure souls, right? In order to keep pure souls in a disempowered state. Again, this isn't an attack on Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know her personally. I don't know what she's dealing with in the industry. And personally, I would never want to find out. But that's between her and God. That's between her and the divine. And whoever is dabbling into that, understand that there are people that will compliment you, right? Because she disrespected me by calling me the last name of an abuser, okay, who sought to literally end my life. They will compliment you. They will make you feel comfortable. They will give you offerings, but they will disrespect you. They will take you for granted. They will use whatever gifts you have in front of you, right? Using that vibration. Oh, I automatically felt, my vibration went higher when you're around. They'll use whatever they can from you that you allow. And this is where we have to be aware of our consciousness, what we're engaging with, what we're allowing ourselves to engage with on social media, what music we're listening to, what are we watching on TV, what are we pouring into ourselves? Because these energies, you ever have music kind of go off, like elevator music in your head? Music is the one thing that they say trespasses into the subconscious. I know I've had it. I stopped on this path. I stopped listening to music for a while because I was like, I need to reclaim my mental space. I was like, I need to determine what's in my energetic field. So, and it's not just limited to Megan Thee Stallion. There's so many different singers. You'll hear something out in the store, and all of a sudden now it's replaying like a broken record in your head, and you're like, oh my God, I can't get this song to stop. It's kind of driving you mad. Understand that your energy field is for you. You have to say who you impact, who you choose to impact. This dream is letting me know that there's so many people who are being offered things that look good because the industry is shaping it to make it seem, oh, these are the blessings that you want. You want to have a good time. Oh, don't worry. Let's keep you essentially in a state of high, you know, keep you in a state where it's a feel good time. And if you're in this high state all the time, you can't really navigate what's going on in your consciousness. People looking to smoke weed all the time, people looking to do edibles and whatever other drugs they may be doing, or looking to drink, looking to do things that numb their consciousness, numb their experience. And in that, in that moment, repeated that like a million times, but in that moment, they're not really being who they are. They're in a certain state where now other spirits can attach. They're in a certain state where now something can try to take you over, right? When you are not of sober mind and you're not of a clear mind, things can mess with you and they will try to. And this also stops you from knowing the God within. This stops you from knowing yourself truly, because to know self is to really know God. And I'm not saying you're going to know the all that it's all, because uh, it's a constant exploration of consciousness and evolution. But the more that you know your true self and you get to know the true you, you are getting familiar with that divine expression of the all that is all, that it's expressing itself uniquely through you. Y'all, this is the message I had, and I wanted to bring it to you because this is a beautiful, it wasn't a beautiful dream, but it's a beautiful example of what they try to do in the industry. They use someone that doesn't know what they signed up for. And with much respect, they're also using Meg The Stallion, just like they're using pretty much every other artist out there for their agenda. Now you have indie artists, you have, those that are doing it on their own, you know, that's different. But when you have artists that are mainstream, that are now manipulated by something because they want, the finances, they want the glamour, they want everything that looks good, they're paying the price for that freedom, or cancel the price for that freedom. They're paying the price for that status, because I wouldn't call it being free. And are you willingly giving of your energy field to those that with much respect would disrespect you to your face? Those that really don't know you, don't care about you, don't care about your soul, don't care about your heart, don't care about your livelihood. They're out here with so many finances living it up, and you struggling to find your next meal. You struggling because you don't know where you're going to lay your head. Or maybe you have your next meal. Maybe you have where you're going to lay your head. But life isn't as easy, isn't as fruitful. You might be struggling to make ends meet. You might be struggling to pay those bills. You might just have enough to take care of all your basic needs and necessities, but you don't have enough to enjoy life. Meanwhile, they're taking vacations like 5, 10 times a year, maybe more than that. Yeah, it's time to show up for you. And it's time as a collective to call your power back. Again, this isn't an attack on Meg Stallion. This isn't me saying anything. This is just what was revealed to me. And she was the vessel that was used to express what's been happening, not only to me, but to many others in the collective. Peace and take care. Also, if you are interested in the services that I offer, obviously me and the Divine, my beautiful team, you can go to www.mamarain.org. Mama Rain, like rain from the sky. Take care.